Hello everyone, Xanaro Gaming coming at y'all with another gameplay video, and today we got gameplay video from our locals for our Union Arena tournament. Unfortunately, the laptop was dead when I went to go record round 1, so we did miss out on round 1. That match was a really cool one too. I think it was like the Suzaku player here on the right and a Kogias. I think he got that game, so he's still on table 1 here at the table. But getting into this game, we see both players seeing some 0 drops in the game, able to establish some decent energy lines. The green bleach player able to use that double energy to drop down a big pressure card early in the game here. That Kenpachi can put in work. The Suzaku player getting to draw a card from the Suzaku, which is a really good consistency card in the deck. Looks like he's sitting on 2, 4, 5, 6 energy at the moment. Going to play the Lloyd Searcher, trying to get a mech into his hand here. I like the Searcher a lot in the deck. It does feel bad when you miss sometimes and you see yourself put a lot of Suzakus to the bottom, which probably is what happened to him there, I would imagine. So let's see if he can do something about it here. Running the Cornelia mech here. I like this mech in the deck. I think that it gives you a lot of pressure early, so you're not only just looking for your 8 drops, right? It lets you play a free body onto the back line, and also gives you a 4K on the board to be able to apply some pressure and block early things. Unfortunate that he hits a special trigger there, but that's okay. 1 out of there now. Hopefully doesn't take one from one of the Lancelot mechs. And off that Cornelia, he was able to play another double energy generator, which lets him bounce that Searcher to his hand. So now he'll be able to play a Searcher on his next turn. The Kenpachi green bleach player moving up his energy line here. He doesn't have a ton, but is fortunate enough to be able to see another early drop, get his energy going. Able to play another one of the dogs, wolves, and nice. Able to play another 13 court guard. He's swinging through here. Just going to check a mech. Maybe deciding if he wants to raid this mech here, so he doesn't have to take the swing from the Kenpachi. He does have the energy for it. They're just trying to probably talk about it here, and he's decided just to keep it to his hand so that way he can swing and get that buff on his turn. Unfortunate to see a final trigger with the live, but he does have the mech in hand now, so probably why he wasn't able to see it off of that search is because his life probably has them all in there. But going to take an extra draw here, then go into the mech, which gets the boost for the 5,000. Now he'll be able to have it for 5,000 now and on his turn, which is what I think both players were just saying there, that he keeps the boost for the turn. This mech is really cool too because it'll let him get the card back to the hand. I like this mech a lot in the deck, really strong. Going to play his Lloyd Searcher. Hopefully he can find another mech here. And he does, nice. So he's able to see the 8 drop. Really nice art on that one. He did pull that one recently, really cool. But you do have to trash a card, and so he just had another Lloyd in hand. So really awesome that he's just able to trash that. Wow, plays another live to progress his state here. Maybe thinking that he doesn't want to fall too far behind in the game. And wow, going to use the Varus to kill the Kenpachi here. Didn't want to take the risk of that on the board, but he does get a draw trigger in his life from the other Kenpachi. I do think that, a lot of these bleach decks are slept on. The Kenpachi can provide a lot of pressure, while the other green support in the deck can, help try to slow down your opponent. He went with a bigger Kenpachi package in this deck. It's able to out the mech here with the kill spell. So both players seen a couple of those, able to, clean up each other's board a little bit. Now that he does have the 13 court guards, he's able to swing with this wolf with the boost. Does get a color trigger with the Suzaku here, and just going to block out with the Lloyd. Able to get a body on the board though, so it doesn't feel too bad. They're both sitting at 4 life here. Both have a healthy amount of energy and characters on the board, but we're going to see the mech here. Yes, the 8 drop, able to pop the Kenpachi and swing for the damage 2, impact 1. He has to decide if he wants to take these 2 here, and I think he's going to decide that the 2 damage is too much. Still gets the 1 check in. Nothing in there for that one other than the active trigger. I think that's what that one is. So not able to swing through, but still good checks. Then now we have to see an answer from the Kenpachi player here, because now you're facing a 2 damage impact 1 mech on the board that is a big body to try to get over as well. Is going to step back the dog for the double energy generation and move up Going to play another Kenpachi and get 2 action points back. Going to play, yeah, best card in the deck, the 2-drop Kenpachi. Lets him, since he has the other court cards, to be able to pop the Cornelia. He can get in a swing here. The mech can block 1, and then nice. Going to see the Suzaku. Now he has to really do something to this board, right? I mean, the Kenpachi player just played 4 bodies, didn't get to play any raids or anything like that, but is able to, you know, put a lot of pressure on the board with this 2 Kenpachis. He could just choose to only block 1 here and still stay in the game, depending on if the Suzaku player is able to play another raid target. Looking like he does have one there. Moved up Suzaku, able to play the 6-drop. Unfortunate that that 6-drop does not have the impact, but it does make the Kenpachi player have to decide here what he wants to take. And I think maybe you do take these 2 and then block out the other one, because you're taking 1 damage regardless, right? So maybe you can get a lucky trigger off the 2. I like to play that way, where I see the 2 checks and hopefully they can help you get through the other attackers. So I'm a fan of taking the 2 damage, which he is taking here, and I think that's probably the right call. Hopefully to see something in there. And yeah, so you take the 2 hits. Unfortunate to see another special trigger in life. That does not feel good on the end of the Suzaku player. It's just going to take an extra draw here. And I think on this turn, the Suzaku player misplayed here. He told me about it here, but we'll see it as it comes. Chose to draw a card, not playing anything, trying to think about what he wants to do. He does have 4 swingers and damage 2 on the Kenpachi. Just going to play on the board. Give the boost to the far left character. And then just going to play on the back line to keep his energy okay. Going to swing here. Takes this check. And then I think this is where he misplays here. He doesn't block the damage 2 Kenpachi. And now he looks down at it here. He was like, oh, shoot. That one's got damage 2. I thought it was the other Kenpachi. And unfortunate there that he didn't block that one. He definitely could have, because he had more DP. And unfortunate that he didn't see that. Probably could have cracked back on the next turn. But, you know, got to pay attention to the cards. Kenpachi able to sneak out a win there with that unfortunate play. But going into round 3, it's going to be Kenpachi versus Kurapika. So a little green on green action. 2 really strong decks that deal with the impact on the board. And just trying to make sure that these... I had some pop-ups coming up all over on the laptop here. So just trying to make sure it's fixed for them. And, you know, these players, fortunate enough to let me record the games for them, which it is a lot of fun. They are ready to go. So we're going to start off here with a Kurapika for the Kurapika player. Just the 0-drop, which is a good start. And going to play out the 2 on the side of the Kenpachi player. Curving out for Kurapika is one of the big issues of the deck here, trying to draw into stuff. So we see him able to draw into a 0-drop with that extra draw. And then the Zepile is a really great card, being able to draw and trash one to help you cycle through your deck. We are going to see the extra draw out of the Kenpachi player. And then Nice gets to get his cycle play here too of the Unionarena. Going into 3, you would really like to essentially maybe get to 5 energy on this turn, which is great. He sees a Netro here. That one, when active, will give him that extra energy. Does play the Hunter license here, looking to try to fix this energy line. Plays out the Basho, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's only at 5 energy here, but that lets him be able to play the awesome Kurapika, which is super strong card in the deck. So already has out a good body to help him out. Unfortunate there, not able to play that last action point, so maybe didn't need to use that Hunter's license since he left one up. I do know that the player on the right is very new to the game. I had the pleasure of playing him in the first game and, you know, really try to help him out. I hope that he keeps coming back to the shop, but awesome for him to be able to make it into this round 3 for sure with a deck that he just started playing. Looks like the green bleach player just going to play out a couple characters here, able to get his action points back. Able to play out that nasty Kenpachi, such a strong card. All the Kenpachis in the deck are really, really strong. You know, you have a lot of viable things, like if you don't have to worry about the raids and you just want to put big bodies on the board that, you know, can't be killed by effects or give you the damage to or the impact, the deck really can't do a lot. Wow, sees 2 of his progressive plays here, able to get back the 2 action points. Maybe just trying to think about if he wants to go into the green boy here to stun the board. He chooses not to, just playing out another body on the board. He still has 1 action point here, just giving the boost up and through, and then is going to raid. This is such a strong card since he has that many characters now. He gets to tap down the whole board here because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He does have 5 other ones. Everything's going to get tapped down and it won't restand. Gets to get a swing in, and it's just a Basho. I can't recall what he has in the security there. Maybe it's an active trigger, so he's trying to explain to him how Toshiro works. That is a really good stun effect because it's just like stunned out through, whereas a lot of other cards say that you're stunned until the next time you would stand after that. His stun effect is so much better because it just says you can't untap until that end of the turn, which is super strong. So really awesome curve for the green bleach player here, able to play that energy out, able to have 4 people on the front line. So the Kurapika player just going to drop down a couple Kurapikas on their front line, maybe trying to wall up against these bodies he's going to have to go out against. And he's trying to tell him here again once what the effect does. So just trying to explain it here. Like I said, he is a newer player, so he will get to untap all of his characters here. Leaves another action point up, so probably should have drawn a card here. Like I said, he is a newer player, so probably just not, you know, realizing when is the best calls to, you know, maximize that draw. So 2 action point left up in a game of Union Arena is a lot to leave on the table for sure. Just going to swing in through with his Kenpachi here, letting him know what the Kenpachi does. Is going to choose to block out that Kenpachi. Going to take the check here, just the Kurapika. I think that Kurapika is a get trigger. Takes it to the trash. Maybe missed out on the trigger there for the Kurapika. Unfortunate as well. But hopefully he could pull off something this turn, right? Like he's got 2, 4, 5, 6 energy, so he's still missing some energy, not able to go into his big Kurapika yet here, which is the whole point of the deck, right? Like you want to get to the Kurapika, you want to see your Kurapika so you can snipe through, take care of their board in these games. And once again here, he's just explaining what all his characters do. And these decks, if you've never played against a green bleach deck, it really has a lot of things going on that a lot of other decks don't, right? Like it kind of combines a good toolbox of a bunch of different effects in it, and it kind of takes advantage of a little bit of everything, but not really super focused in on one thing in particular. And you have to have multiples of them out to get a lot of their effects. So he's moving up the zip pile here, and he's trying to think about, he is 2, 4, he's at 5 energy I think here, so he does not have the 6 energy to put that Kurapika online yet. So hopefully since he moved at the zip pile, he is able to play something on his board, so that way he can get to that coveted 6 energy for the Kurapika. Using 2 action points here, so maybe we're about to be able to see a... Oh wow, he's just gonna go... Always a viable option too, just taking the 2 Emperor times. I would say that stacking 2 of these up on one turn is usually not the right call, even if you are kind of in deep danger, because if you stack one on one, then if you hit anything out of life here, you know that their check is going to be getting into the security. He is supposed to be drawing a card off of both of those battles there. And he has snipe, but not the impact, but definitely missed out on the draws. Like I said, the Kurapika player on the left, you know, probably doesn't know what the deck does either, and is, you know, missing out on helping him, you know, remember what some of these cards do. But we are in a pretty competitive tournament trying to get some of these winner cards, so you do have to know your own cards as well. So I think he missed out on a couple of draws there that he should have had to help him fix his hand. But the green bleach player able to clear the board with those kill spells and able to put out some more bodies. Does see the Kurapika, but does not have the energy quite yet for it. And this is very late in the game to not have gotten into a Kurapika yet. You really want to try to curve those out on turn 3 or 4 at the minimum, and we are pushing it here not seeing a Kurapika. He has not seen any Neons yet, which is also another, essential card for the deck. And here we go. We do get to finally see the Neon Gaming. Hopefully he can drop the Ray Kurapika here for free onto the front line. We couldn't really see his hand too much, but he does get the Leorio, which is also not a bad option. The Leorio in this situation is a little unfortunate though, because you have to pay that action point if you want to get his full value of his effect, but luckily enough for him, he does have the Kurapika in his hand there. And now he is able to snipe over something. Gonna take out one of the bigger threats here. Does get a check of a draw trigger in life. Maybe just looking at what he can swing through on. Going to decide to block out here, and the Leorio gets a swing in and going to get a check. And very lucky life so far from we've seen from the green Bleach player in these games. A multiple special triggers, which is always fortunate, but that's part of the game, right? Like if you're swinging into life, you better be prepared to have something not very good happen to you, right? So usually one special trigger you can expect to have happen in one game. So hopefully that's the last one he'll see in the opponent's life. I had to lose his Kurapika here, so he's going to draw another card. He is at 6 energy, so maybe if he can drop a 0-drop Kurapika on the back line, he can go into that other Ray Kurapika that he has in his hand. I think that he has one in his hand for what I'm trying to see. Maybe not. He clearly doesn't have it then, or it'd be pretty easy just to go into it. Like I said, he is a new player to the game, but it's just going to drop the Leorio. Able to get a swing in. Just gets an active trigger, and looking like the green Bleach player may have lethal on board here. He sees another kill spell, which is unfortunate. He's seen a lot of them, so very fortunate on his end to see these kill spells in very key situations. Just the Sato's in the lights for the Kurapika player. He will get another turn here, able to get the draw trigger from the Zeppile. And the Toshiro is just going to see the Kurapika. I can't tell what Kurapika that is, but I'm pretty sure that Kurapika has a trigger, right? Like the 0-drop from earlier had a trigger that I think he missed out on. But that one may not have the trigger on it if it's the double energy one. Looking pretty grim for him here. He would have to have a Kurapika raid, which he does finally have. Well, he's decided to move it up, so unfortunate for him to only go into the one Kurapika. Facing 4 characters on the board, playing 2 cards for the Neon. I think that you have to play that Neon up to the front line though, so that way you have another body out to block with. I do think that that is also misplay. Like I said, he's definitely newer, but you definitely have to play that Neon on the front line, because even though he did get to raid there, which the Neon gave him the energy to be able to do that, you really have to think about just trying to survive for the next turn. And lucky enough again, sees an active trigger, so he doesn't have to lose a body here, because he's able to boost his character up for the turn and didn't have to take another life. But with only 1 life left and only 2 blockers up, I think this spells for game here. He's just going to swing in. Even if he does have a special trigger or a final trigger in life, well, he does. He does have a final trigger in life. He explains to him what the final trigger does in the game. And like I said, he's a newer player, so he's probably super excited. I've only had 1 final trigger in any of my games too. But that was a great game regardless of the misplays. But nice to see those 2 guys match up in a duel. But going into the finals here, we have a very interesting, cool matchup. We're going to have this green Bleach player again, focusing on the Kenpachis, going against Muzan, the Demon King, so strong that he gets to, if you've never played against this deck, they really just want to get to the 20 cards in the trash. So when you're playing against a Muzan, you really want to try to push them for early damage so you can try to get them down before they get the Muzan online. But the deck has a lot of ways to, cycle in, able to, sideline your characters to get, plays into it. That one just able to, draw and trash him a card. And no way, bro. Another special trigger in life off the rip for the green Bleach player, which is absolutely insane for sure. His life has been very fortunate in this tournament. But able to draw one, trash one off that sideline trigger, so you don't really care too much in the Muzan deck when your stuff gets sideline because you're getting value for it. But he's just going to play out some bodies, trying to wall up and put some pressure on early. I do think that in this green bleach deck, that double energy generator that gets sidelined at the end of the turn, in other decks, I don't think those cards are very good, but in this deck it is because it helps you cheat out those Kenpachis early and fast because you want to put a lot of pressure on your opponent with those Kenpachis, which he's going to be able to do here on this next turn. The Muzan player is able to play out one of the most important cards in the deck, which is that double energy Muzan. Unfortunately, he has to play it on the front line, but he did get to, you know, put it out, so he should be able to get some value on it next turn if he doesn't get sidelined. But he does get sidelined. Of course, we're seeing here he has another kill spell in his hand. Seeing them all along in this tournament. But is able to give the Muzan player the most important card in the deck swinging into that life there, which is the Muzan. Now that he has that Muzan in his hand, he is able to know that now he has his win condition ready to go. So all he has to do is try to stall out and get there, which is easy to do with this deck because you just try to play a lot of these 0 drops. A lot of them let you, you know, draw one, trash one, or trash one, all kinds of things that you can do when they're sidelined. He is, unfortunately, having to get rid of one of the 0 energy drops on his backline to play the Muzan, so that card goes to removal, but he doesn't care now because now he is at the 4 energy. He gets to use his kill spell, which is going to kill one of his characters, let him draw 2 cards, and then get the sideline effect from the other character to draw one and trash one. So he is sitting really good here, able to go into the Muzan's blood to get back the 2 action points to progress his turn here a little bit. And it looks like he has another one. So he gets to kill one of his characters, get the action point back, draw 2 cards, get that character's sideline effect to draw one, trash one, and he's looking pretty good. He has to be, you know, over 12 in the trash now from all of the things that we've seen. He's sitting pretty good, and this is a state of Muzan where now you're just trying to, you know, keep your life healthy, play out other characters. He's going to use the Muzan to sideline another character here so he can draw one and trash one. Going to swing in to make the opponent have to block it. You know, sometimes people misplay. I think you always swing to try to make them, you know, decide to block or not. Sometimes they'll take the hits. But now he has 2 Muzans in the back with the early drop Muzan. And I think the right call this time to play that Muzan in the back, right? Earlier, he played it out front and he got punished for it. So now he knows that since that's an important cycle card in the deck, he needs to keep it in the back so that way he is able to get those effects when he needs it. Gets another great card in the deck to his hand, the Akaza, and now the kill spell in life for the Muzan player helps him out going against the green bleach player, which, you know, I think that's the first one he's hit in this tournament so far that we've seen, maybe the second, but it will come back to bite you. You know, sometimes you get hit into life, and it can be unfortunate with those special triggers. But just going to drop down one of his kill spells here, he is able to, you know, kill one of his characters, draw the 2 cards, picking who he wants to kill here. He's going to kill the Kenpachi. They're just talking about interactions on the card. He gets his win sideline effect there. I think he maybe missed it. I can't tell. But regardless, he gets to go down into the Akaza, which is such a great card for this deck. He gets to trash 2 cards here and is able to, you know, now get so much pressure on the board. I think he gets snipe and impact, gets to go through the body. Fortunate enough to not hit anything in life there, and I do think that his Muzans are online. I could be a little bit off of the count, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like he probably has close to 20. If he doesn't, maybe he just threw one, like that action down there saying he's maybe 1 off, which is unfortunate. So maybe he can get something going on in his life that can help him out here to give him one more turn to be able to push up these Muzans and, you know, put a lot of pressure on the green bleach player. But the green bleach player is going to move up 1 body, play one of their Kenpachis, and then also play back to get 2 of their AP back. I'm not sure what that card is called. I don't have a ton of experience with the green bleach, at least not this Kenpachi based build. Basically, just forcing out these Kenpachis, trying to get a lot of pressure. I'm going to swing, make the person block. Like I said, you always need to do that. Force your opponent to have to, you know, play those cards. If he can play out the small body that lets him win sideline, you know, move one of his characters up, he could get the Muzan out. And I think that's what they're talking about here, that, you know, he doesn't have enough to move out the Muzans. But lucky enough, he is able to see his raid target here, which is going to let him draw 2 and trash 1. And now that he has enough in the trash, this character is going to be 4,500 now from now on. Is able to play out a small body, going to swing in with the Akaza. I don't think that was a trigger there. Maybe he's trying to decide. He had another active trigger. Wow, yeah, his life has been really, really fortunate in this tournament. That active trigger saves him another life. They're able to play out the Toshiro, which is going to tap down the board. He's just letting him know that he gets to also tap down one of his characters on the front line. Reading the card here. Going to tap down the Akaza. The back line will stay tapped down too, which is very unfortunate for him, considering that he wants to move those Muzans up. Fortunate enough to see a kill spell in life, but he is able to block out now since he got rid of that card. But the back line does not get to untap, and neither does his Akaza, so he's not able to push the pressure of the game. I would say here, since you can't use these Muzans, I would not move them up at all. Because that's going to be the first cards he tries to take out. If he does have another kill spell, or if you hit one in life, that's what he's going to do. So I think he just chooses to keep them back here. Moving his Inmu off for some reason. Oh, he just wants to move out the 2 Muzans. So he is going to go to do that, which gets rid of his 4,500 body, which is absolutely crazy that he's doing this. Just trying to push the pace of the game. Just going to kill one of his characters to be able to draw a card and kill any of your opponent's characters. And then swinging for 1 life here. Gets another active trigger. Not that it matters. He didn't have another swinger there. So the Muzan has 2 Muzans coming up. You've already seen 2 or 3 of the kill spells and active triggers in life. Looking pretty grim for the green Bleach player here, to be honest. He's going to be able to put up a wall, but Muzan is 5k, able to block out. And this is where Muzan's absolutely scary. Not even choosing to play anything else in his hand. Just going to swing with the Muzan. 2 checks. Going to have to lose a body here. Swinging with the Akaza to lose a body. And lucky enough, he did get another active trigger here. Showing that he had the boost there. He is at 55 from that boost instead of the 5,000. So maybe trying to push for game there on the Muzan player was not the right call. He probably just got a little excited, didn't want to play anything, just wanted to push up. But now that he's done this, he's going to get cracked back on a little bit here. Choosing who he wants to activate this effect on. Going to get 1 check in, 2 checks in. Going to block out this one. It does not have impact. And hopefully now here, he's just swinging again. Nothing in life. Very fortunate to see some good life there. But what a matchup there by these 2 players. Muzan takes the win for the tournament. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Muzan is the winner. Please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.